Welcome to my channel, Most Worth Coins WC, where history lives in your hands. If you're passionate about rare coins, vintage currency, and the fascinating stories behind them, you're in the right place. Don't forget to watch the full video. Share it with your fellow collectors, like and subscribe to stay updated with more valuable content every week. So without further ado, let's get started. The 2000p United States $1 coin, more commonly known as the Sacagawea Dollar, represents not just a piece of currency, but also a profound expression of American ideals, cultural inclusivity, and numismatic evolution at the turn of the 21st century. Released into circulation in the year 2000, this coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, indicated by the P mint mark. It stands as the inaugural issue of the Sacagawea Dollar series, which replaced the unpopular Susan B. Anthony Dollar and aimed to revitalize the use of dollar coins in daily commerce. Embellished with enduring mottos such as E pluribus unum, out of many one, liberty, and in God we trust, the coin is a miniature testament to the American spirit and values. Historical background and motivation. In the 1990s, the U.S. Treasury sought to phase out the Susan B. Anthony dollar, which, due to its similarity in size and color to the quarter, failed to gain traction in circulation. Congress authorized a new golden dollar coin, and the U.S. Mint took this opportunity to not only redesign the physical appearance of the coin, but also infuse it with rich symbolic significance. After public input, the Mint chose Sacagawea, a.I., young Shoshone woman who played an instrumental role in the Lewis and Clark expedition of 1804-1806 as the central figure. Sacagawea was chosen as a representative of indigenous contributions to American history and for her role as a mother and guide. The year 2000 marked the debut of this series, and the Philadelphia Mint was one of two facilities, the other, being Denver, responsible for producing coins for general circulation. The P mint mark on the obverse side signifies its origin from Philadelphia. Obverse design, Sacagawea and her son. The obverse of the 2000p Sacagawea dollar was designed by Glenna Goodacre, an acclaimed sculptor known for her portrait of the Vietnam Women's Memorial. Her design presents Sacagawea in a dignified three-quarter profile, facing forward while carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau, on her back. The portrayal is intended to convey strength, humility, and hope. Sacagawea's eyes are slightly raised as if looking toward the future, symbolizing guidance and perseverance. Surrounding the portrait are the Liberty at the top and In God We Trust on the left side of the field. These mottos reflect the foundational principles of the United States: liberty for all and trust in divine providence. The year of minting, 2000, and the P mint mark are positioned on the right side of the coin. Reverse design, the soaring eagle. The reverse side of the coin was designed by Thomas D. Rogers Sr., and it features a majestic soaring eagle, a timeless symbol of American freedom and resilience. The eagle is shown in mid-flight, wings outstretched and poised above a bundle of 17 stars, which represent the number of states in the Union at the time of the Lewis and Clark expedition. This artistic choice links the historical narrative of westward exploration to the broader theme of American expansion and unity. The reverse is encircled by the national motto, E pluribus unum, the words United States of America, and the denomination $1. The inclusion of the Latin motto, meaning out of many, one, is especially poignant here, as it emphasizes the unity found in diversity, reflecting both Sacagawea's native heritage and her role in bridging different cultures. Composition and physical characteristics. Although often referred to as the golden dollar, the 2000p Sacagawea dollar is not made of actual gold. Instead, it features a clad composition of manganese brass, a core of pure copper surrounded by outer layers of 77% copper, 12% zinc, 7% manganese, and 4% nickel. This blend gives it a distinctive golden hue without the cost of precious metals. The coin has a smooth edge, unlike modern dollar coins with edge lettering. Its diameter is 26.5 meters and it weighs 8.1 grams. This specific metallurgical makeup was chosen for its durability and resistance to tarnishing, as well as to provide a tactile and visual contrast from other circulating coins, especially the quarter. Mintage and circulation. In 2000, the Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 767 million Sacagawea dollars bearing the P mint mark. This immense production volume was meant to ensure widespread availability in circulation. However, despite efforts to encourage public adoption, including promotional partnerships with major corporations like General Mills, which included the coin in cereal boxes, and Walmart, the coin saw limited long-term circulation due to the entrenched use of the paper dollar. Nonetheless, the 2000p Sacagawea dollar remains a common and affordable coin, widely available to collectors in uncirculated and proof versions. The Goodacre presentation finish coins, a special subset struck with enhanced polish and distributed to artist Glenna Goodacre, are especially valuable to numismatists. Symbolism and cultural significance. The coin's significance extends far beyond its function as currency. Sacagawea, depicted carrying her son, represents not only the contributions of Native Americans to American history, but also the vital role of women in shaping the nation's destiny. The choice to show her as a mother adds emotional resonance and conveys nurturing strength. The mottos, liberty, and in God we trust, are consistent with American numismatic tradition, reinforcing the coin's role as a symbol of national identity and shared values. Meanwhile, e pluribus unum echoes the melting pot concept foundational to American society. These words, etched in metal, serve not only as reminders of the nation's ideological roots, but also as aspirations for unity and coexistence. Collectability and legacy. Though it failed to circulate widely as intended, the 2000p Sacagawea dollar laid the groundwork for future dollar coins, including the presidential and Native American $1 coin programs. Collectors appreciate the coin for its historical importance, artistic merit, and its place in a transitional era for U.S. coinage. Many uncirculated 2000p Sacagawea dollars are still easily found at modest prices, making them a popular choice for beginners in the coin collecting community. More pristine specimens, such as those graded MS-68 or higher by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, may command a premium, especially for those with flawless surfaces and full luster. Conclusion: the 2000p Sacagawea dollar is more than a monetary instrument. It is a sculpted narrative of American unity, resilience, and cultural richness. It embodies the nation's complex history, from the contributions of indigenous peoples to the ideals of liberty and divine trust. Through its thoughtful design and symbolic depth, this $1 coin invites each holder to reflect on the enduring story of the United States, a story of many voices united under shared principles, engraved forever in metal and memory. The 1951 D Lincoln Wheat Cent, a modest 1-cent piece struck at the Denver Mint during the early years of post-World War II America, is more than a common coin. It is a copper time capsule. Despite its small size and low face value, this coin carries a great deal of historical, artistic, and symbolic significance. Its inscriptions, E pluribus unum, United States of America, In God we trust, Liberty, and its date and mint mark collectively speak to the ideals and identity of the nation at the time. First introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person and has remained in production, with design changes, ever since. The 1951 D example is part of the Wheat Cent series, 1909-1958, named after the twin stalks of Durham wheat on the reverse. With a mintage of over 625 million, the 1951 D cent is not rare in the absolute sense, yet it is deeply treasured by collectors and historians for its place within the broader American numismatic and historical narrative. Historical context: America in 1951. To fully understand the coin's significance, one must look at the context of 1951 America. The United States was in the midst of the early Cold War era and had just entered the Korean War, 1950 and 1953, a conflict that shaped foreign policy and domestic priorities. Economically, the country was transitioning from the industrial boom of World War II to a consumer-driven economy, and American society was experiencing the first waves of the post-war baby boom. It was a time of optimism, rising prosperity, and growing global influence. Yet, this era also carried deep political tension, both externally against communist powers and internally, as McCarthyism stirred fears of subversion. Amid these challenges, American currency remained a daily and universal connection between citizens and their country's founding principles. The coinage of this era reflected stability and tradition, a grounding force in turbulent times. Obverse design, Abraham Lincoln and national values. The obverse front of the 1951 D cent features a right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor David Brenner, a Lithuanian-born American artist and engraver. Brenner's original design was adopted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, making the Lincoln cent the first circulating U.S. coin to depict a real historical figure rather than a symbolic personification of liberty. The portrait of Lincoln is humble yet resolute, capturing his deep-set eyes and furrowed brow, a visual testament to the weight of leadership during the nation's most divided era, the Civil War. This coin was issued nearly a century after that war, but Lincoln's legacy remained powerfully relevant in 1951, especially during a time when American democracy was once again under pressure globally. The inscriptions on the obverse include, "In God We Trust." Placed above Lincoln's head, this national motto first appeared on the 2-cent coin in 1864 and became standard on all U.S. coins. During the early Cold War, its inclusion took on added meaning as the U.S. sought to differentiate itself from officially atheist communist regimes like the Soviet Union. Liberty. Located to Lincoln's left, this word echoes one of the most enduring American ideals. It also reflects Lincoln's legacy as the president who preserved the Union and helped bring an end to slavery. The year of minting, placed to Lincoln's right, anchors the coin in a specific moment in American history, D, mint mark. Just below the date is a small letter D, signifying the coin's origin at the Denver Mint, which was the most prolific producer of cents that year. Reverse design, the wheat ears, and the Republic. The reverse of the 1951 D penny features two stylized ears of wheat curving along the left and right borders, symbolizing agricultural prosperity, which was the backbone of the American economy for much of its history. This design, also by Brenner, emphasizes simplicity and strength. Between the wheat stalks are three key inscriptions. 1 cent. The denomination appears boldly in the center in all capital letters. United States of America. Positioned just below the denomination, this asserts the coin's national identity and authority. E pluribus unum. Arching above everything else is this foundational Latin phrase meaning, out of many, one. It encapsulates the unity of diverse states and peoples into a single republic, a sentiment highly resonant during both the Civil War era of Lincoln and the Cold War era of 1951. The reverse design was used from 1909 until 1958, after which it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959, commemorating Lincoln's 150th birthday. Physical characteristics and composition. The 1951 D cent was struck in a traditional bronze composition typical of the era's coinage. Its specifications are as follows: composition, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, bronze alloy. Weight, 3.11 grams diameter, 19.05 milli, 0.75 inches. Edge, plain, smooth without reading. During World War II, specifically, in 1943, cents were briefly struck from steel coated in zinc to preserve copper for military use. However, by 1951, the mint had returned to the classic bronze composition, which provided durability and a rich reddish-brown color. Over time, due to oxidation and handling, many surviving 1951D cents have darkened or developed a greenish patina known as verdigris, a natural result of copper reacting to air and moisture. Mintage and availability. The Denver Mint struck approximately $625,000 and $355,000, Lincoln cents in 1951. This substantial mintage means that the 1951D penny is relatively common in circulated condition and is widely available to collectors. Because so many were made, uncirculated examples, especially in MS65 red, Mint State 65 red, or better condition, are far more desirable and command higher premiums. Collectors often seek out full red examples, which have retained their original coppery brilliance without toning or oxidation. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC in MS66 red or better are significantly rarer and can be valuable depending on the market. Symbolism and cultural significance. The symbolism embedded in the 1951D Lincoln cent is profound. At the heart of the design is Lincoln, a president who embodied ideals of equality, unity, and moral resolve. The coin's mottos, liberty, in God we trust, and e pluribus unum, are more than decorative. They are philosophical affirmations of national identity and purpose. During 1951, as America engaged in ideological and military struggle abroad, these values took on renewed urgency at home. The wheat ears on the reverse also speak to a time when American success was measured not only in industrial might, but also in the strength of its farms and rural communities. The design pays tribute to the working class, which formed the foundation of mid-century American life. Numismatic appeal and legacy. Although not rare in raw form, the 1951D penny remains a cornerstone coin for collectors of Lincoln cents. It is an essential part of a complete wheat penny set, which spans from 1909 to 1958. Because of its high mintage and availability, it is often recommended for beginner collectors. More advanced numismatists may seek out errors or high-grade examples. Some 1951D cents show die cracks, repunched mint marks, RPMs, or off-center strikes. These varieties are especially interesting to specialists. Coins graded MS67 RD, red, or higher are rare and can command prices into the hundreds of dollars at auction. Conclusion: the 1951D Lincoln wheat cent is a copper coin that quietly carries the weight of history, symbolism, and national identity. Minted during a time of post-war optimism and Cold War anxiety, it represents both stability and continuity in American life. Its design, featuring Abraham Lincoln and traditional American motifs, connects generations of Americans through common values and shared heritage. Whether found in a change jar, a childhood coin album, or a professional collection, the 1951D penny invites reflection on where the nation has been and what ideals it continues to pursue. In the seemingly simple features of a 1-cent piece lies a deeply layered and enduring story of unity, liberty, and trust. The 1982 United States quarter, inscribed with the national motto, E pluribus unum, and the phrase, In God we trust, is part of the long-running Washington Quarter series first introduced in 1932. This coin features a portrait of the first U.S. President, George Washington, and reflects both artistic significance and historic symbolism tied to the identity and values of the United States. The 1982 quarter holds a special place among collectors and historians for several reasons, including changes in production methods, mint mark inconsistencies, and its context within the economic and political climate of early 1980s America. Obverse, front, design, Liberty, In God We Trust, and Washington on the obverse, front, of the 1982 quarter, you'll find a left-facing bust of George Washington, originally designed by sculptor John Flanagan in 1931. Flanagan's portrayal was based on a 1785 bust of Washington created by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon, aiming to capture the dignified and resolute character of Washington. Above his head is the word liberty, representing the foundational principle of American democracy. To the left of the portrait is the phrase, "In God We Trust," adopted as a U.S. coin motto in the 19th century and reaffirmed during the Yazi Cold War era as a contrast to atheistic communist ideologies. Beneath Washington's neckline appears the year of minting, in this case, 1982. Depending on the mint, a mint mark, either a P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or no mark in early years from Philadelphia, may appear to the right of Washington's ponytail, just above the ribbon in his hair. Reverse. Back design, heraldic eagle, and national motto. The reverse of the 1982 quarter features a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, designed by John Flanagan. The eagle holds a bundle of arrows, symbolizing military preparedness, while an olive branch beneath it represents the pursuit of peace, a balance that reflects the United States' posture as both a defender and promoter of peace. Above the bulba, eagle are the words United States of America, and just below that, the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This phrase reflects the unification of multiple states into one nation, a concept that remains a cornerstone of American identity. Beneath the eagle, the denomination is clearly stated as quarter dollar. Composition and physical characteristics, unlike earlier quarters made of 90% silver and 10% copper, the 1982 quarter is part of the modern clad composition era, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This clad composition was introduced in 1965 after the Coinage Act of 1965 removed silver from circulating U.S. coinage due to rising silver prices and hoarding. Weight: 5.67 grams diameter, 2426 mm edge, reeded, 119 reeds. Composition: copper-nickel clad copper. This composition makes the coin durable for daily circulation while maintaining a silvery appearance similar to earlier silver coins. 82. Quarters, mint marks, and key differences in 1982. The U.S. Mint produced Washington quarters at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Notably, no quarters were struck at the San Francisco Mint for circulation, although proof coins were made there for collectors. The Philadelphia Mint used the P mint mark, a practice that started in 1980. The Denver Mint used D. The 1982 quarter is especially notable among collectors because no mint sets were produced by the U.S. Mint in 1982, making high-quality uncirculated coins harder to find. A particularly famous variety is the 1982 no mint set issue, which led collectors to pull more quarters from circulation in the years following. Because of this, high-grade 1982 quarters are scarcer than one might expect for a relatively modern coin. Errors and varieties. One of the interesting aspects of the 1982 quarter is the presence of several error coins and varieties that have caught the attention of numismatists. These include off-center strikes, double dies, especially visible on lettering, clipped planches weak strikes, likely due to worn dies or low striking pressure. While such errors were not exclusive to 1982, the absence of mint sets and the relatively heavy circulation of the coin make error specimens from that year especially intriguing for collectors. Collectability and value. Although the 1982 quarter is common in circulated, condition, it becomes notably valuable in uncirculated or mint state MS grades, especially MS65 or higher. The lack of official mint sets makes these examples scarcer than those from surrounding years. In circulated condition, 1982 quarters are generally worth their face value, 25 cents. However, MS65, uncirculated examples can fetch 525 MS67 coins may sell for 100 250 plus, especially if certified by PCGS or NGC error coins, or full strike examples can exceed these values depending on rarity and demand. Cultural and historical context. America in 1982, the year 1982 was significant in U.S. history, marked by economic recovery efforts under President Ronald Reagan, high interest rates, and inflation. It was also a time of Cold War tensions, technological advancement, and a shifting global economy. The symbolism embedded in the 1982 quarter, liberty, trust in divine providence, unity out of diversity, aligned with the national mood and American values during that transitional period. Summary: the 1982 Washington quarter is more than just pocket change. It's a small yet enduring symbol of American heritage. With its classical design, patriotic like liberty, in God we trust, and a pluribus unum, the coin captures ideals central to the United States. Its composition, minting history, and special place in 1980s numismatics make it a compelling item for collectors and historians alike. While abundant in circulation, higher-grade specimens and varieties continue to attract attention in the collector market, offering both monetary and historical value in a coin that has been in millions of hands over decades.